Hey besties, it's Becky here with Bestie Becky Crafts, and today I am going to show you how I got ready for Jennifer Clemens' ATC swap. Jennifer Clemens, also known as Nail Polish Anonymous, is hosting an ATC swap, and I signed up for it, and this is what I've made so far. I have one more I need to make, so I'm going to show you how I made them and kind of, I guess, go over the swap a little bit. First of all, it's called an ATC swap, and ATC stands for Artist Trading Card. And what that really means is it's a card that you've decorated that's 2.5 by 3.5, and on the back side of it you put some information like your name, address, whatever is required for the rules. Sometimes what mediums you used, all those sorts of things. So Jennifer had certain requirements that she wanted on the back of the cards, and your name, your address, your YouTube channel, your birthday, and your wish list. And so what I did was I printed out on the computer 10 of them to glue to the back of my cards. So then I cut out my cards to the size that she wanted, and she wanted the back side, the base, to be 2.5 by 3.5, which is your normal pocket letter size, because she is going to put these in a pocket letter and pass them out. So I cut my base at 2.5 by 3.5, like she said, and then she had a requirement to use pastel Miss Sparkle Company paper, and you could find this at Joann's, and they are 2 by 3 inch pieces, and they're pastel. They're really pretty. This is the last pack that they had. I had to hunt and hunt and hunt for them, and it was the last pack they had of this color. So it must be very popular, and I haven't seen it since, so maybe they're getting rid of them, which is just kind of a shame because it's a really nice little size. So you had to do 9 ATCs, and you could do one extra as just for a random act of kindness. So I decided I'd go ahead and do the 10. So I have my base card cut, and then I decided to kind of cover it a little bit. So I found some pretty pastel colored paper, and I cut it to the same size. But I'm going to punch the corners in this pretty little pattern. You can see that. So the white will still show through, so technically I'm still following the directions. So let's get these out of the way, shall we? Get room to work. I'll leave one kind of out there. Okay, so then I used good old art glitter glue, which is wonderful, and you just put some on. Now you could use your regular tape glue, whatever glue you feel comfortable with, but that's what I used. And then you glue it on, and since they're the same size, it just kind of lined up all the edges, and then just swish it. I have my little Miss Sparkle card, and I cut the same punch in the 4 edges. And this is a Fiskars punch. I don't know where I got it, but cute. And it holds on to all the little extra goodies back there, and then you can just throw it away so it doesn't make a huge mess on your people, which is nice. And then I went ahead and glued this down. Oops, I thought I had my pin still in there. Go ahead and glue this down on top and just center it. Alright, so I have my base card of white cardstock as she wanted, cut by 2.5 by 3.5, and I use my Miss Sparkle pastel paper. That just comes in a 2 by 3 inch piece. And now you have to use at least 3 different embellishments on your card when you decorate. So if you look at this card, my 3 different embellishments. I use pearls, I use bling, I use ribbon. So there's 3, but I also use tulle. I don't know if you can see that. I thought she needed a little crinoline or something underneath her skirt. So I actually used 4 embellishments. Alright, so the next thing I did was I cut out the dress. And I used these dies to cut out my dress. And there's 3 different tops if I could have chosen. I like that one for some reason. It seemed kind of summery to me, springy. And then here's the skirt. And the skirt has embossed lines in it already. You can see that. And I got it from my friend Alice. So not too expensive, but perfect size, as you can see, for an ATC card or pocket letter. So I cut out of this fun paper. I don't know if you can see that. It has a little shimmer to it. And I did the same with the top. So here are my 2 pieces. And now what I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to go ahead and glue my pearls to the top just because I'm impatient. And I get these pearls at AC Moore, I think. You can get them at Joann's. I'm not sure. All different colors. I love the container that they come in because you can just pull them out of the top hole and then you can lock them in that little slit there on the side if you want. So I've done 9, so I know it takes 7 pearls. So I'm going to count out 7 pearls, 2, 4, 6, 7, and cut. Now, as you know, I am a glue gun girl. So got my glue gun all warmed up, and I'm going to go ahead and get my pearls started. Like so. So I've glued half it down. Oops. Darn little glue gun spider webs. I'm going to go ahead and glue the other half down. You can see that. Like so. Okay. So now I've decorated the top of my dress. Embellishment number 1. Alright. Now, can do embellishment number 2, which is putting bling in the 4 corners, which I have already done on this one. And I just picked out some bling that matched. Actually, this bling is different from this bling. I ran out. Us ladies go through a lot of bling. I like that bling. But I just glued bling in the 4 corners just to give it a little extra, you know, pop. So here's my card with the bling. So there's my 2 embellishments. And now I need to fold the skirt. And this can be a little tricky, but it's really not too bad. I knew that I wanted the outside pieces to be flat. So when folding, there's that embossed line. I folded that in on one side first, and that's going to be flat. I know it doesn't look flat, but it will be flat. So this is a pleat, and I fold it back. Alright, so there I have my first little part of my skirt. Now the bigger piece right here is this pleat right here. So I know that I need to bend back the next embossed line, and again, this is going to be part of a pleat, so it needs to be bent this way. I hope this is making sense to you. Once you see it and do it, it makes sense, okay? So there I have my first pleat. Okay? Now the second pleat is going to be underneath. It's that one there in the middle. So I bend that next one up. I think that's right. And then the next one, I don't know if you can see it right there. I'm going to bend it back. So there I have my middle pleat. Alright, now we're going to work on this pleat right here. Do you see how that's going? So I know that I want this pleat to look like that. So the next embossed line, I bend backwards, like so. And then this pleat is going to go underneath. So again, I'm going to bend on that embossed line, that last line, like so, so that it lays flat. And I hope you can see that. Let's put it on here. See, there's my two flat edges, my single pleat, and then my two upper pleats. Just like that. Okay? Simple. Might take you a minute the first time you do it. And if you wanted the pleats the other way, you fold it the other way. You fold it however you want. But that's just how I wanted my dress to be. Alright, so I'm now holding the top together. And I'm going to glue my top on. And I'm going to use my good old hot glue. And it may show a little bit, but that's fine because I'm going to put a ribbon over the top, as you can see here in a bow, so it's going to cover it up. Alright, so there's the base of my dress. Pretty simple. Alright, so now let's add the little crinoline. Crinoline, is that how you say it? The little tulle part. So I cut a piece of tulle, 5 inches. I know tulle is hard to see. I don't know if you can see, I don't know how to show you, but there's my piece of tulle. And I buy my tulle at Joann's in the floral section. It comes in like little tubes like this in all kinds of different colors and big tubes. So you can use either size for this project, it doesn't matter. And it comes in a million colors and some are even glittered. So if you want to use glitter, you can do that, or you can do different colors. I tried to match colors if I had them. Like this one's yellow. I did happen to have yellow. I had pink. I had some green. I had some orange. But I didn't have any purple. So that is on my list for next time I go to the store to get some purple. So I just use white, which comes out fine because you can't even really tell that it's not purple because of the background of the paper. Alright, so then what I did was I cut it to 5 inches, and it doesn't have to be perfect, just a rough 5 inches because you're not going to see much of it anyway. And then I used floral wire because I couldn't find a needle. I could find thread, but I couldn't find a needle. So I just went, I'll just use wire. We make do with what we have. And this just happens to be 26 gauge floral wire I had laying around. So I cut myself a length of floral wire, no specific length, whatever I felt comfortable with. And I'm going to go ahead and just like sew the top. Just gather the top. I don't know if you can see that. And there's no right way, wrong way to do this. I'm not being super careful and not being super even. I don't really care. I just want to get a plate. And hopefully keep it on the wire. It's easier to do it this way than to try and glue this tool on the back by hand, because you burn the crap out of your fingers or you would be stuck to your project. And I just really didn't want to mess with that. I thought, oh, this will be easier. This will give a more even look. And there we go. Okay. So, see, that didn't take very long. Alright, so there's my gathered tool. And I just pinch it. Now, you're going to twist it so that it doesn't come off. But since I'm a jewelry maker, you know, I can't just be simple and twist it. So I'm just holding it with my little pliers here, and I'm twisting the ribbon around it like I would if I was making a charm. But you don't need to do it that way. You can just twist it. And then I'm going to bend the wire over. And again, just using my little tools here, which you don't have to do. And bend it, okay? Because I want it as flat as possible. Although it does stick up some, as you can see here. It gives it a little 3-dimension, but I would still want it as flat as possible. So then I'm going to trim the end of the wire because that is just way too long. I don't need that much. I don't know, 1/2 inch. That'll work. So trim it to about 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to glue it to the back of my dress. And I'm going to glue the wire side down like so. You see that? So I just put some hot glue on my dress and push the wire down, and I can actually push the crinoline down too. Do girls still wear crinolines anymore? Oh. I wore when I got married and when I went to prom. Little crinolines. Okay, so now I want it to kind of stick to the edge here, not fly out off the side. So I'm just going to put a row of glue and glue down my tool so that it won't stick out. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. And I'm going to kind of turn my edge so that it goes in, just to give it a more finished look on the bottom. So, same thing. And it's not too hot. I have a low temp glue gun, so it's not too hot. Alright, so there's my little crinoline. Super long crinoline. Way too long crinoline. So, take my scissors, and I'm going to trim it to about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to hold it with my finger, and I'm going to follow the shape of the bottom of the dress. Because you know crinoline's going to do that anyway. And there's extra, throw it away, keep it, whatever you'd like to do. Now, I have the base of my dress done, but I need to do the ribbon. So, I picked out a purple ribbon, matched as close as I could, and I used a really, what is it, 1/8 of an inch size ribbon. You could go a little wider if you wanted to. There's no right or wrong here. It's crafting. You know that. This is just an idea. You can make it work for you, make it work for the supplies that you have. And I'm going to just glue the ribbon down, like so. Hold it for a second. Now there's a little of the glue that kind of spilled out of the edge. That's fine because I'm going to put a bow on it and it's going to cover all that anyway. Alright, now I turn it over and got a little spider web there. On the back side I'm going to put some glue and I'm going to wrap my ribbon around, and you can see there, and glue it down. And this is just an embossing tool that I use sometimes when I hot glue to push things down, because the glue comes right off the end and then my fingers don't get burnt. I do have the little finger guards, but they're tight on my fingers, so I don't always like to use them unless I have to. They work awesome, but if I can get by without, I get by without. Alright, so now I'm going to pull this side over and do the same thing, just push it down. You could use your finger. And then I'm going to trim the ribbon really super close because I don't want it sticking out on the sides, but I'm being careful not to cut that tool. Alright, so there is a good start to my dress. And then I have already made a bow because it can take a while to tie a bow nice and pretty, and I never know if when I tie it the first time it's going to work out okay, or if I'm going to have to tie it more than once. So I went ahead and tied it ahead of time, and as you know, I always put fray check on the edges so it doesn't fray. And then I'm going to put a little glue on my bow, and pop it on right there in the center. Whoop. And there we go. There's my dress. Wasn't that easy? Alright, now let's glue it down. And since I haven't put my little card with all my information on the back, it doesn't matter which side is up, which side is down. But I did notice that I had a little string hanging out here of one of my pearls. I don't know if I can trim that off. Just a little detail. Alright, so now let's glue the top of the dress first. So I'm going to put some glue over the ribbon part and the crinoline, and then the top, and I'm going to center it and push it down. And I really want to make sure that the shoulder part gets attached. The rest is all a bonus. Okay. And now I want the outside of my dress to stick down to the card, because you don't want it flapping around like that. So I'm going to put some glue on the bottom there, and I'm just going to press it down to where I want it to be, like so. And then I want it to be kind of even on the other side. So because it's pleated, if I want to or need to, I can pull it out a little bit so that it's even. See? So I'm going to put a little bit of glue under there. And just make sure it's even, just like that. Push it down. Get rid of that extra little pieces of hot glue hanging around. There's the completed front of my card. And did you notice my nails match? I did plan that. No, I didn't plan it. It just happened to work out that way. Alright, so here's the information that Jennifer asked for with Nail Polish Anonymous, what she wanted on the back of the ATC card. So I'm just going to glue it to the back of the card. Like so. I'm just using my runner tape. I could use my art glitter glue, but I just decided to use this, like so. Push it down, and there we go. I have my, I'm going to bring them back in here, 10 ATC cards, just like that. And when you do it kind of assembly line, it goes pretty fast. It goes pretty fast because I cut all my back pieces, I cut all of the second pieces, these I just tore out of the book, I cut all my dresses out at the same time, I glued the pearls all on, and I did all of it just in assembly line fashion, and it went pretty fast. So not only did she want 9 ATCs, but remember I did that extra one for a random act of kindness, is she asked for some goodies, because she will put goodies in with the pocket letters. So let me move these out of the way a little bit here, and let's see what else she asked for. 9 goodies if you're doing 10 pockets. First of all, you need to write a letter as if you're sending to a new pen pal. So I made an envelope with my Lawn Fawn small stitched envelope dies. It has a little just a note wording in there. and this framed piece. So I went ahead and made an envelope. I will write a letter and I will place it inside, and I just use Velcro to keep it closed. So I have that yet to do. It's always the hardest part for me, so I usually leave that till last because I never know quite what to say. I'm not really all that exciting of a person. And then she asked for tea. So my little basket of goodies here. So I have some tea and washi samples. So here are my washi samples. And how I do my washi samples is I use Shrinky Dink. Good old Shrinky Dink. Remember that we used as a kid? Oh, here's my Shrinky Dink. It's terrible package that ripped at the bottom. But remember Shrinky Dink? And this is what I use. I cut it out in the size I needed. I just made a pattern and cut it to that size. And then I round the corners because they can be pretty sharp. And I just used my punch, corner rounder punch, and rounded the corners. I don't know if you can see that. And then I just wrap my washi tape around it. Oh, I have like hot glue strings everywhere. And then I put my washi tape on top of it, like so. And that fits perfect in a pocket letter, nice and flat. So I got my tea. I got my washi samples, and she wanted ribbon or lace, so I got some ribbon and some baker's twine and then some little pom-pom edging. I thought was cute. So there's that. It's a little bulky, but it'll still fit. And then she asked for sequins or die cuts, and I found these cool sequins. Oh, I can't remember. AC Moore? Joann's? I think AC Moore. And so I put them in a baggie, and I just use little baggies. You can find them in the jewelry section, or there's an end aisle in Michael's that you can find in too. They're cheaper there instead of the jewelry aisle. Just a little tip. I don't know why they're the exact same thing, but they're cheaper out of the jewelry aisle. And then she asked for a snack, and I know this is a little weird, but I like Pez. And so I thought, you don't eat Pez every day, so why not some Pez, right? And then stickers. So I had some fun spring summery stickers put in there. And then bling, of course. So I have a sheet of bling. All those fun springy colors. And embellishments. And so I found these at AC Moore for embellishments. They're called frame stickers, but they're more like an embellishment. And so I will let Jennifer cut them up however she would like. And then since I needed an extra goodie because of sending an extra card for a random act of kindness, I sent some more stickers. Aren't these cute? Little dragonflies. You can see those. And she can, again, cut them up however she likes or needs to for her swap. So I did all that, and then I also have to send $4. And so I'll just put this all in an envelope. I don't need to put it in a pocket letter because she's going to take care of that. And I'm going to put it all in an envelope, and I'm going to send a self-addressed stamped envelope because I will get a pocket letter back as part of the swap. So I'm excited about that. So you do all this work and you get a pocket letter back, and somebody will get one of your cards and one of your goodies and your name and address, so you might get extra little mail, and then your little pen pal too, so you'll have your little pen pal note. and that'll go to someone random. Alright, hopefully not yourself, because you want to read about yourself. So, put in an envelope, self-addressed stamped envelope, $4 to cover postage. For the postage, for her to send the pocket letter to somebody and to send back to you. And then also, it must be mailed by her May 1st. And if you're sending it the last week of April, make sure you send her the tracking number so she knows that it is on its way, and let her know. And again, that was Nail Polish Anonymous, and that's Jennifer. And I think I'm ready to like wrap this all up and mail it after I write my note, which, like I said, is the hardest part. And I think that's it. So that's what I did for Jennifer's Nail Polish Anonymous ATC swap, and I hope this kind of gives you an idea. And the paper pad I used for the back was watercolor ombre. See that? And I don't know where I got this. Michael's maybe, or Joann's, someplace. I get so much paper that I don't know. Anyway, I hope that gives you a pretty good idea of how simple this challenge, I guess it's a challenge, is, and an idea for your washi tape. And then all my little cards here. Because that's of the swap, you could do the same thing for each of them. So I used the same idea, just different colors. So I think they turned out really cute. So make sure you check out her website. I will put her link below. And hopefully you join the swap. And that's it for today. And if you don't join the swap, hopefully it gives you some ideas on what you can do for your pocket letters or cards. And these dress forms are they're just adorable. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Hi Mom, hi Irina, and keep crafting. We'll see you later, besties. Bye.